Energy is changing, not slowly, not someday, right now. It's happening across the grid. It's being generated in more places, moving in more directions, and changing minute by minute. And expectations are changing too. Customers expect a grid that's reliable, affordable, and increasingly one they can see, understand, and take part in. At St. John Energy, we're building a system designed for the future while delivering what matters today. A system increasingly powered by renewable energy like wind and solar, one that supports how people actually live, from electric vehicles to more efficient homes, and one that doesn't just react but anticipates, helping balance supply and demand in real time. Through our 030 roadmap, we're exploring what it takes to move towards net zero responsibly and in a way that works for our customers. And we're not building it alone. We're working alongside First Nation partners and leaders in academia and technology. We're testing what works and scaling it. Because through all of it, one thing doesn't change: reliable power, stable rates. We strive to be a utility our customers can depend on, because energy isn't just about power, it's about people, the community we serve, and the role we play in helping it grow and stay connected. At St. John Energy, we're not just adapting to the future, we're helping shape it.
Welcome everyone to St. John Energy's annual community meeting. My name is Shelley Wood and I am Vice President of Finance, People and Community at St. John Energy. It is my pleasure to serve as your MC today. I would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional unceded territory of the Wolastoq, Mi'kmaq, and Pescataway peoples. We pay tribute to elders past and present as we gather. Just one item before we get into our program. There will be a question and answer session at the end of the event, and we encourage anyone with questions for us to submit them by emailing them to communications@sjenergy.com. To begin today, I'm pleased to introduce Colleen D'Entremont, Chair of the Board of Commissioners for St. John Energy.
Welcome to St. John Energy's annual general meeting. It's a privilege to serve as Chair of the Board of Commissioners for this organization. And I want to begin by thanking my predecessor, Jim Shaw, for his leadership and dedication that he brought to this role. Jim leaves St. John Energy in an outstanding position. We're all grateful for everything he contributed. I also want to thank Shelley Corser, who has served the board so well for so many years. St. John Energy has been serving the community for more than 100 years. That kind of history doesn't just happen by accident. It's built on an unwavering commitment to the people of this city. Keeping the lights on reliably, keeping energy affordable, keeping our environmental footprint in check, innovating for the future. Those aren't separate goals. They're all expressions of the same purpose: doing right by St. John. What sets St. John Energy apart is just our track record, strong as it is. It's the spirit of the people who work here. Whether you're talking to someone in the field or someone in the boardroom, there's a genuine commitment to this community. You can't manufacture that. It's earned. Being community-owned and locally focused is one of our greatest strengths. It means we can move quickly, embrace new technologies, and build the kinds of partnerships that serve our customers best. I'm genuinely excited about where St. John Energy is headed. The foundation, more than a century in the making, is strong, the team exceptional, and the opportunities in front of us are real. Today, you'll hear much more about what we have accomplished and where we are going. On behalf of the entire Board of Commissioners, thank you for joining us.
At St. John Energy, we talk often about building the utility of the future, one that is smarter, more connected, and better positioned to support both customers and economic growth. A big part of that work is happening through innovation. St. John Energy announced Plug-in Labs, a first-of-its-kind platform designed to help researchers, startups, and businesses collaborate using smart grid data to develop new energy solutions. Next, we have St. John Energy's Vice President of Strategic Growth and Transformation, Glenn Fillmore, who will explain more about what Plug-in Labs is, why it matters, and what it could mean for St. John and beyond.
We launched Plug-in Labs, a collaboration platform that gives businesses, clean energy startups, and academic researchers access to St. John Energy's smart grid data for the very first time. As far as we know, no utility in the nation has ever done this before. The idea behind it starts with a simple but powerful belief. data can drive innovation. Over the past several years, through our 030 initiative, mapping a path to net zero emissions by 2030, St. John Energy has built an extraordinary foundation for a smarter, cleaner energy future. This includes building a smarter grid, adding utility-scale renewable energy generation like Burchill wind, and incorporating battery storage. 030 also brought innovations like a digital twin of our entire distribution system, incorporating a tremendous amount of near real-time data on voltage, load, consumption, renewable generation, and more. Until now, that data has stayed inside our walls. Plug-in Labs changes that. It allows innovators to plug into the data. Through a secure platform, innovators anywhere in Canada and beyond can access that data, run simulations, test and validate their ideas in a safe virtual environment.
The goal is to turn that data into collaboration and that collaboration into innovation. We're talking about startups building the next generation of energy tools. I also want to be very clear today that customer information plays no part in this. Privacy remains paramount, and our platform is designed so that outside innovators can work with secure data in a contained environment with no access to St. John Energy systems. At the same time, Plug-in Labs will allow researchers to unlock insights that reshape how utilities serve their customers. It will allow companies to develop solutions that make energy cleaner, more reliable, and more affordable, not just for here in New Brunswick, but across Atlantic Canada and the country. But Plug-in Labs is more than a platform. It's a mindset, one that says we can't get to the energy future we want alone. The best ideas will come from opening our data, connecting with talented people, and building together. And ultimately, that work comes back to the people we serve. Better innovation means a more resilient grid, cleaner energy, and more stable rates for St. John customers. It means our city becomes a place where energy solutions are developed, not just consumed. That creates jobs, opportunity, and prosperity, not only for St. John, but for New Brunswick. To learn more or explore getting involved, visit pluginlabs.ca. We are proud of what this represents and even more excited about what comes next.
St. John Energy has been powering this community for more than a century. And for most of that time, the way we've been structured and the legislation we've operated under hasn't changed much either. But the energy world around us has changed dramatically. The opportunities available to utilities today go well beyond keeping the lights on. Utilities across North America are generating new revenue, funding community infrastructure, and building enterprises that deliver lasting value to the cities and towns they serve, all while maintaining safe, reliable, affordable power for their customers. We believe that St. John Energy can do that too, and we believe the path forward starts with modernizing how we're structured, giving us the tools and the flexibility to grow on behalf of this community, to create more jobs and new opportunities for St. John. Making that possible requires an update to provincial legislation, and we have been working with the provincial government for several years now to try to move that forward. To explore what modernized governance for our utility could bring, St. John Energy President and CEO Ryan Mitchell sat down recently with someone who has actually done it. Rob Burton has been the mayor of Oakville, Ontario for 2 decades. The town of Oakville sits on the western shore of Lake Ontario, just outside Toronto, with a population of more than 230,000 people. Under Mayor Burton's leadership, Oakville took its municipal electric utility and built it into something much larger, a diversified enterprise that today generates tens of millions of dollars annually for the town and its residents. Their conversation is about what's possible and what it could mean for St. John.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Burton, for joining us. Most people in St. John would know St. John Energy as their electricity provider. What they may not know is that the legislation governing St. John Energy and how we operate hasn't changed since 1922. And that right now, it's holding us back. When you became mayor of Oakville in 2006, the local utility, as I understand it, had about 150 employees. And today, the utility that has been built on that foundation, or the enterprise that's been built on that foundation, employs nearly 3,000 people. So I'd really love to start at the beginning. How did all that happen?
I thought it would be a virtue to develop non-tax revenues. All that has happened is that the town of Oakville, the city that calls itself a town and acts like a village, has a business corporation that has become a very, very exciting small imitator of EPCOR.
For people here in St. John and in New Brunswick who aren't overly familiar with Oakville Enterprises, can you maybe go into a little bit more detail and give us a sense of what it has become?
Every city I know of created a holding company to hold the utility company. We had a structure that lent itself to the holding company holding other companies, and in fact becoming Oakville Enterprises. So all we did was rename Oakville Hydro Corp, the holding company, into Oakville Enterprises. And Oakville Enterprises now owns interests in 24 companies across Canada. And in Oakville, our dividend, when we started this, that was paid from the utility, from the Oakville Hydroelectricity Distribution, Inc., was only a few $100,000, and it wasn't even regular. And now it's a regular $12.5 million, and soon it'll be rising to $20 million because of the success of enterprises. And we're a patch on what EPCOR has become. We've only been doing this for, depends on how you count, but maybe 10 years. And Edmonton's been doing it for, I think, 27 years. So they declare a dividend to the city of Edmonton every year. Every year it goes up. They have never missed a dividend. And it started out at $800,000. And the last one I remember last year was close to $200 million.
So Oakville Enterprises didn't just grow in every direction. There was a logic to it. I'm really curious, like, how did you decide what made sense to pursue and what made sense to pursue maybe even first?
Oakville Hydro Electricity Distribution, Inc. has always had a top of the game attitude. So we had automation early. We have a huge emphasis on reliability. I think we have the best record in Ontario year to year on the fewest interruptions and the shortest interruptions. So we were early and enthusiastic adopters of technology, and so we had a really good reputation with all of our fellow utilities and businesses in general. We decided that we would expand our enterprises in our area of expertise, in our area of high reputation. So that led us to energy services, if you will. It also led us to generation. So we have solar farms and we have run-of-the-river hydro.
Can you maybe frame in a little bit more detail, like what has all of this actually meant for the community of Oakville?
Our focus at the city level is on livability, and a lot of people understand livability as, do you have enough parks? Do you have enough playing fields? Mm-hmm. Do you have enough arenas? Do you have enough community centers? All of these things cost money, and tax-adverse people would rather have somebody else pay for it than themselves. So the basic business model of enterprises is to create a steady, reliable, ongoing dividend that would then support the debentures necessary to build those things and keep the cost of building those things off of our property tax.
What does the right structure actually unlock for a utility that's already doing innovative things?
Well, it's all, in my mind, it's all just what is the reputation that you come to market with? And as a recognized leader in innovation, you'll come to market, if you go down this path, with an easier way to open doors and a presumption in your favor around quality and being worth being partners with.
So when you look back and reflect on the journey that you've been on over quite a number of years now, like what one or two things do you actually think made this work for Oakville, and do you think it can be replicated?
I think the thing that made it work was we had a base of trust. And we we'd earned that base ever since 1999 when we took over the public utility. There was this constant, steady improvement of service, this constant dedication to quality, to automation, to innovation. But I also think that my reputation as an entrepreneur and as a successful businessman assisted people to trust that we were on to something. In Oakville, there are areas of business that our population might be squeamish about being involved in. And for example, Enterprises has never considered getting involved in power generation involving coal. Edmonton, EPCOR, they have different resources in Alberta. They've never shrunk from coal or oil, but we have a little bit of a goody two-shoes mindset here. I think the ultimate thing, though, for St. John to consider is you have to decide who you are and what you want to do and how happy you are to pay taxes. And I imagine that it's possible that there are people on the planet who would rather only pay taxes for the stuff they want for their city. And there's probably people who would be happy to earn money outside of the city and use that money to enrich the city and improve your livability.
Well, Mayor Burton, thank you. What you've built in Oakville shows what becomes possible when the community decides to think bigger about what its utility can do. I believe the people of St. John deserve that same opportunity. Again, I believe that we built something worth building on. And with the right tools, there is no limit to what St. John Energy can do for the city, this province, and its future. And that future starts with a decision. And we believe it's time to make it.
All right. Well, thank you again, Mayor Rob Burton. Very enlightening. Appreciate your time with us today.
All the best.
Okay, take care.
At St. John Energy, thinking bigger has always meant more than infrastructure and innovation. It means investing in the community we serve and in the people who will shape its future. The Teen Resource Center has been doing exactly that for young people in St. John for years, providing a safe, encouraging space for youth aged 13 to 24 to explore their potential, build life skills, and find their path forward. St. John Energy is proud to support the TRC and the vital work it does in our community.
My name is Catherine. I've worked at the TRC since 2018. And so the Teen Resource Center is a space for youth to walk in the door as who they are today. And how we do that is by providing services after school, like mentoring or tutoring. And then also maybe as they get a bit older, some housing support, employment, mental health counseling, sexual health services, and then referrals to other community services. Ibrahim was able to get involved with St. John Energy through summer employment. And so our executive director, June, was able to go and speak to St. John Energy and tell them a bit about who the Teen Resource Center is and what we do here. And St. John Energy wanted to help in some way. And so they reached out to June and asked what could be provided. And they worked out this partnership where a summer job was going to be created. And so we knew exactly who we would put forward for that position, and that was Ibrahim.
Hey, my name is Ibrahim Arazeh. I'm from Syria, Aleppo. I moved to Canada, St. John, New Brunswick, and I lived near the TRC. And my cousins would always talk to me about it, but I had no idea what it was. So one day they took me with them to that place, and I really liked it and enjoyed it. And it's a place like for fun and people where they study and do their homeworks. I mostly liked about Teen Resource Center, TRC, the pathways that they have there. I used to go there and like study and do all my homeworks, and there would be like tutoring. My experience in St. John Energy, it's been such a great like 2 summers that I have had. And like I always go home, talk to my family about it, tell them how much I enjoyed my shift. It's always been like this, and it's just like really fun where I work in my department. I work in stores department. It's like such a fun place to be working at, and it feels like a home. People are very welcoming and very nice and respectful.
I think some of the growth for Ibrahim, he's always been such a hard worker, but I really feel like this opportunity has given him such a confidence, a network of people beyond the TRC, and that's what we always want for the youth that come here, because eventually youth are no longer youth. They enter that young adulthood stage and then they become adults themselves. And while the door is always open, we want them to be able to expand those networks to create those meaningful relationships relationships outside of here. And so I think that that is really what has been provided to Ibrahim through this employment, is that he can expand his network of people who care about him and want to see him grow.
Some of the skills I learned here is like how to communicate with people, being a team leader, taking heavy tasks. The team atmosphere here is amazing. It's like I always have to collaborate with different people, and like I'm not always in the same task, same job, which is why I love it so much, because I could be doing deliveries, I could be doing stocking, I could be helping other people, and I love the team atmosphere. So you might notice I'm wearing a pilot suit. I am into aviation. I have loved planes since I was very little, 5 years old. Then I found out about Mount Elson University, and they offer aviation program. So I ended up joining Mount Elson University, and I am now in second year. I also can't wait to get my pilot license and move into airlines and hopefully be able to fly big planes for Air Canada. So all of this experience is helping me get to my journey.
Anyone, any business who's looking to help by asking what St. John Energy did, which was how can we help the TRC, would be extremely beneficial. And in creating employment for Ibrahim, it's really created him to be a role model for the other youth, because they still know him where he's still younger and he's still involved in his community. And so they see what he's been able to get through working for St. John Energy, and they come in and they know that that was because of a partnership with St. John Energy and the TRC. And so they ask us then, like, what can I do to get this opportunity? Because I see what Ibrahim has and he loves it so much. We're really proud of you, Ibrahim, and we're so thankful to St. John Energy for this opportunity.
What I would say to a similar student that's starting the same position as me, have fun, communicate, and work as a team.
Ryan Mitchell will now take us through a year of progress, innovation, and purpose at St. John Energy, highlighting the people, projects, and partnerships that continue to strengthen our community and shape a more sustainable energy future.
What an amazing program that we've had today. Thank you, Mayor Rob Burton of Oakville, for sharing your experience so generously and for the candid conversation. You have built something remarkable in Oakville, and the lessons you've shared matter deeply for what we're working toward here. And Glenn, thank you for walking us through Plug-in Labs. What you and your team have built is unprecedented for a Canadian utility. Today, I will be sharing with you an overview of what we have been focused on at St. John Energy since our last annual community meeting, and a look at where we're headed. It's been an exciting and consequential year. But before getting into the highlights, I want to give you a clear sense of what grounds us and what allows us to do everything else. I want to start by reaffirming what grounds us at St. John Energy, which is our enduring commitment to the people of St. John. You'll see 4 commitments on this slide, and I want to speak to each one. Affordability is at the forefront. Our rates remain among the lowest in Atlantic Canada, and that's no accident. It's the result of disciplined financial management and smart, forward-looking decisions. Keeping energy affordable for our customers is something we work hard to protect every single year. Customer first focus. Our customers don't just rely on us, they recommend us. Our Net Promoter Score is a plus 41. The national average for utilities is plus 13. That means our customers recommend St. John Energy at more than triple the national rate. And that is not something that we take for granted. Innovate for our customers. Our vision is to be Canada's most trusted and innovative utility, leading in the energy transition. Not innovation for its own sake, but innovation that delivers better service, cleaner energy, and lasting value for the people of St. John. Everything that you'll hear about today reflects that. Reliability matters. Our customers consistently rate us among Canada's most reliable utilities, and our team works every day to keep earning that. I'll speak to each of these commitments in more detail as we move through the presentation. Well, let's look at rates and affordability first. At St. John Energy, we remain focused on delivering value, and that starts with keeping our rates as competitive as possible. As you can see here, affordability is a top priority for us. A typical St. John Energy customer on 1,350 kilowatt hours a month pays approximately $213. MB Power customers pay $239. Fortis and PEI $257. Nova Scotia Power, $278. That's a $65 difference between what our customers pay and what Nova Scotia customers pay for the same electricity use every single month. That's a direct result of disciplined financial management and a commitment to finding innovative solutions, and it's something we work hard to protect every year. And when you compare what our customers pay against what NB Power customers pay, the gap is meaningful. In 2025 alone, that difference translated into an estimated $9.5 million in total savings across our customer base. And that's compared with what they would have paid at NB Power rates. That's not a rounding error. That's real money staying in the pockets of St. John households and businesses. And that number has been growing from $6.4 million in 2022 to $9.5 million last year. The value we're delivering relative to our neighbors has increased every single year. We know affordability is top of mind right now, so even as pressures mount across the energy sector, we are doing everything we can to limit the impact on customer bills. The next few slides show some of the ways that we make that possible. At the heart of our ability to keep rates competitive is one project that continues to prove its value. The Burchill Wind Farm, 10 turbines, 42 megawatts, supplies 15% of St. John's electricity needs under a long-term fixed price agreement. In 2025, Burchill delivered almost $5 million as a net benefit to our utility through lower electricity purchase costs, its contribution to reducing peak demand, and the sale of renewable energy certificates. That's real, measurable value. And you can see Burchill working in real time. We publish a live performance dashboard at dashboard.sjenergy.ca, so anyone curious about how much clean energy Burchill is generating right now can check for themselves. Burchill is owned and operated by Natural Forces in Nuguktuk, the Tobique First Nation. We purchase 100% of its output, and we are proud of that partnership. This is more than a supply contract. It's a collaboration rooted in shared purpose, mutual respect, and a commitment to building a sustainable energy future together. One of the most powerful tools that we have for managing costs is our Shave the Peak initiative. Tackling peak demand matters because that peak electricity is expensive to buy, and it's heavy on emissions. Meeting it requires fossil fuel power plants to fire up. In 2025, we achieved about $2.75 million in savings through a combination of tools working together: customer participation, smart water heaters, voltage adjustments, utility scale battery storage, and clean wind energy from Burchill. That's the system working exactly as designed. We achieved similar savings in 2024, holding at that level 2 years running, which is no small thing. It reflects a program that has matured and continues to deliver real, consistent value for our customers. This is one of the clearest examples of how innovation directly benefits the people we serve, and it reflects something we believe deeply. The most powerful changes happen when customers and their utility work together. What you see on this slide is a picture of steady, disciplined growth. The vast majority of St. John Energy's revenues go directly toward purchasing electricity and operating the system, the essential day-to-day services our customers count on. Our total revenues have increased from $118.5 million in 2021 to $153 million in 2025. This comes as the number of our customers has grown and as people turn increasingly to electricity as a cleaner energy source. The smaller segment at the top of each bar represents our net income. While modest relative to the total, this portion plays a vital role. It's what allows us to responsibly reinvest in infrastructure, pursue thoughtful innovation, and plan ahead for the evolving needs of our community. We approach our financial performance with care and discipline, and it's that financial strength that positions us to do the bigger things, like what I'll share with you next. In March, we announced Grid Forward St. John, a $19.5 million modernization of the city's electrical system. This is one of the most significant infrastructure investments in our system in years. Nearly $10 million came from Natural Resources Canada, matched dollar for dollar by St. John Energy. We're grateful to the federal government for that support and for recognizing the importance of this investment. Grid Forward will accelerate a series of critical upgrades, replacing aging underground equipment, enhancing how we manage and respond to outages with the introduction of self-healing grid technology. Self-healing grid technology means our system can automatically detect a problem, isolate it, and restore power faster than any manual response. It's the kind of infrastructure that builds real, lasting resilience for our customers, and we're excited to begin deploying it in a few areas of the city. Work is underway this year and will continue over several years with projects phased to minimize disruption. It supports local jobs and local contractors, contributing real economic activity right here in St. John. Grid Forward is one expression of a larger plan, our 030 roadmap. And I want to take a moment to explain what 030 actually means. 030 is our clean energy action plan, a rigorous, in-depth examination of what it would take for St. John Energy to reach net zero carbon emissions while keeping electricity affordable and reliable. We did this work with leading experts and with meaningful input from more than 600 residents and our Indigenous partners, because 030 has to reflect the values and priorities of the people that we serve. This spring, we released the 030 Roadmap Project Update. The key findings are significant. Electricity demand in St. John is projected to grow by 5 to 35% by 2030 as the region grows and as residents adopt electric vehicles, heat pumps, and other clean technologies, making proactive grid investments like those in Grid Forward essential. The path forward relies on 3 levers: new local renewable generation, NB Power's progress toward its 2035 net zero target, and high-quality carbon offsets for emissions that cannot yet be eliminated. On March 20th, we moved 030 from research into action, primarily on 3 fronts. We launched a competitive call for developers to propose new solar, wind, and battery storage projects to be connected to our distribution grid right here in St. John. Projects will be evaluated on their ability to grow clean energy supply, support grid reliability, and deliver sound value for the utility and its customers. We launched The Switch, a new online initiative that connects customers with the programs, financing, and guidance to make cleaner energy choices at home and on the road. Heat pump rentals, smart water heaters, EV charging support, practical, accessible tools that help customers make choices that are good for their bills and good for the environment. And then today, Glenn shared news of Plug-in Labs, opening our smart grid data to researchers, startups, and innovators. No Canadian utility has done this before. It reflects a belief that we hold deeply, that the best solutions won't always come from inside our walls. Our rates are among the lowest in Atlantic Canada, and we are committed to keeping them that way. Every project we pursue through 030 must stand up to a strong financial business case for the utility and for our customers, and that's non-negotiable. 030 is designed as a living plan, not a report that sits on a shelf, but a dynamic roadmap that will guide our decisions and actions in the years ahead. It will evolve as technology develops, as policy changes, and as our customers' choices shift. What you've heard today is the beginning, and there is more to come. I'm proud to share that 030 earned a 2026 Clean50 Top Project Award, national recognition from an organization that identifies Canada's leading sustainability projects. Here is what Clean50 said about us. This award-winning, municipally owned utility is drawing up a roadmap that blends local renewable generation, battery storage, and smart grid innovation to cut greenhouse gas emissions while keeping rates among the lowest in Atlantic Canada. That recognition belongs to the people who built 030, including not only the dedicated team at St. John Energy, but the partners who worked with them. To see that work honored at a national level is genuinely gratifying. It's a reflection not just of the plan, but of the people behind it. One of the clearest lessons of this moment in energy is that no utility can meet the challenges of the transition alone. That's the philosophy behind an initiative St. John Energy helped to establish. In February 2025, we joined 8 other community-owned utilities across New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island to form the Maritime Municipal Electric Utility Alliance, the MMEUA. These are utilities like us, locally owned, locally accountable, with deep roots in the community that they serve. Together, we collaborate on clean energy, grid modernization, and the operational expertise that helps each of us serve our customers better. What makes this alliance work is that every member retains its independence and its local identity. The goal isn't to centralize, it's to strengthen. By working together, we can achieve what none of us could do on our own. This April, the MMEUA secured more than $500,000 in federal funding through ACOA to advance grid modernization and clean energy planning across all 9 member utilities. It's the Alliance's first major coordinated investment and a sign of the momentum we're building together. None of what I've described today happens without the people who make it possible. Think about what the St. John Energy team has delivered in a single year. Grid Forward, 030 update and actions, Plug-in Labs, The Switch, and so much more. They have done this while continuing to implement major upgrades to our customer experience and deliver the reliable service our community counts on every day. Our customers consistently rate us among Canada's best, and that doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of the people in this organization. In an industry changing as quickly as ours, progress does not come from technology alone. It comes from people who are willing to learn, adapt, and keep showing up for customers and for one another. That is what I see across St. John Energy, and it gives me great confidence in the future. St. John Energy isn't just here to power homes and businesses. We're here to help build a stronger city. And that means showing up for our community in ways that go beyond the meter. Over the past year, our employees and our organization directly supported more than 30 charities and nonprofits in our community with about $150,000 in 2025. That impact is amplified even more through our giving partnership with the United Way. Through donations, fundraising, partnerships, and volunteering, our team gives generously and consistently. I want to thank every employee who makes that happen. The care they show inside St. John Energy extends far into this community, and it's something I am proud of every single year. Today you heard Mayor Burton describe what modernized governance unlocked for Oakville, and that story is exactly relevant to what we are working toward here. In collaboration with the City of St. John, we have been engaging with the Government of New Brunswick on updating the legislation that governs us. The law we operate under today is more than 100 years old. It was designed for a different era, a different economy, and a different energy system. A modern governance structure would give St. John Energy the flexibility to pursue new revenue opportunities, to expand new services, and build lasting value for this community, all while continuing to deliver the reliable, affordable service our customers expect and deserve. This isn't about changing who we are, it's about removing the constraints that limit what we can do for St. John. The tools exist, the model is proven, we know what is possible because we just heard it from someone who has built it. What we need now is a legislative update that allows St. John Energy to keep moving forward, to scale what is already working, unlock the next stage of innovation, and deliver even greater value for our customers and our community. Thank you for spending this time with us today and for your continued interest in the work we're doing. What you've seen today reflects a team that is focused on reliability, on affordability, on innovation, and above all, on the people and the community that we serve. From Grid Forward to Plug-in Labs, from The Switch to 030, from our partnership with Nuguktuk to work with governments to modernize, these aren't isolated projects. They are expressions of a clear, consistent direction. We are building the utility our community deserves for the next century. We're proud of how far we've come and genuinely excited about what lies ahead. We invite you to stay connected, follow our progress, share your ideas, and join us on the journey.
Thank you, Ryan. We will now move into the live question and answer session. If you have not already, please submit your questions by emailing communications@sjenergy.com. If we're unable to respond to your questions during our session today, we will get back to you by email. To our friends in the media, please hold your questions for one-on-one interviews. To arrange those, please email dave.stonehouse@sjenergy.com. Joining Ryan and I for our Q&A session are Glenn Fillmore, Vice President of Strategic Growth and Transformation, and Ryan Shoneman, St. John Energy's Executive Director of Operations. Okay, I'm just looking through our questions here. Ryan Mitchell, I think this is a good one for you. That was an interesting discussion about the potential behind modernizing governance. The results by Oakville are impressive. What additional businesses would St. John Energy pursue?
Okay, thank you for the question. And I would categorize them as fitting within three primary areas of opportunity. The first area would be related to utility support services. So, if you were to think about engineering, operational, customer services, basically, leveraging and growing our workforce to provide those types of services to, to other utilities. And, that does happen quite often, that we're contacted by other utilities who have an interest to recruit, retain St. John Energy to support them. The second area of opportunity that we see is around expanding energy products and services. So really building on the success that we've had with water heaters and heat pumps, and look to bring new products and services not only to our customers in St. John, but even beyond the borders of St. John. And then the third area of opportunity is really all around, leveraging the work that we've been up to related to smart grid innovation. There are many utilities that are at their own, place in the energy transition, and again, often have reached out to St. John Energy looking for support. To help them, with their efforts around innovation. So that's an area that we're very, very interested in playing an increased role. So those would really be the three areas, Shelley, that I would see that we would be looking to lean into the future, new business opportunities.
That's great, Brian. A follow-up question on modernization. Why hasn't the provincial government allowed you to do this, and how can this be moved along?
Okay. I certainly believe that we've worked constructively with government of different political stripes over the last number of years, and within the government, more specifically, that would be the Department of Local Government, the Department of Energy, would also include the Premier's office, and then of course the local MLAs here in St. John. So we do continue to have conversations with them, and our partners at the City of St. John are actively involved in those as well. The government has recently reaffirmed their commitment to deliver the changes that are requested within their current mandate. So, when we do updates like we are today, we also want to make sure that the public is aware of why this modernization is important to St. John Energy, and what we see as the benefits that it would bring not only to St. John, but to the province as well. In terms of helping to move it along, I would say to the folks that are tuned in and listening, if you believe, as we do, that modernizing, 100-year-old legislation, would be of benefit. If you believe in, affordability measures, job creation, economic development, and just a broad realization of benefits for the community, then, I would encourage, our customers and stakeholders to engage with the local MLAs here in St. John, and to encourage them to implement the appropriate changes that are required to set us up for success for the next 100 years.
Thanks, Ryan. I see one in here that I can answer, and that question is, it's great to see the rate comparisons with other Atlantic utilities and the savings versus NB Power. With continued upward pressure on rates from NB Power, how will you keep St. John rates affordable into the future? So affordability really starts with operating efficiently and continuing to find innovative ways to reduce costs for our customers. That's why we've invested in renewable energy like Burchill wind, battery storage, demand response programs like Shave the Peak, and grid modernization initiatives that improve reliability and reduce operating costs over time. We're also creating new opportunities through initiatives like Plug-in Labs that you just heard about, and potentially modernization of our governance structure. The goal is straightforward: to generate additional value that helps protect the rate advantage that St. John customers already enjoy, and bring additional benefits to the city that we serve. So let me see, Glenn, I think this next one would be good for you. Congratulations on your national first with Plug-in Labs. How do you see that benefiting St. John Energy customers, and when will we see that unfolding?
Yeah, thanks so much for that question. This is definitely one that we are genuinely proud of. Plug-in Labs put St. John on the map as a place where next generation, of grid innovation can be built. And our idea is pretty straightforward as well. We're giving outside researchers, startups, and innovators access to the insights from our smart grid data, so they can develop and test new tools using real-world utility data. And for our customers, that really translates into innovations that, as you mentioned, would improve efficiency and over time keep those bills in check. And since the launch, the outpouring of interest has been beyond what our expectations were. And right now we're sorting through all the proposals that have come in, and this is on top of the academic and private sector partners that are already using the platform, Concordia University and NBCC. They've got projects underway right now, and we expect to start seeing real results, prototypes, and advancing their solutions in the coming months.
That's great, Glenn, and very exciting to see progress. So the next question I have is for Ryan Schoeneman. I heard that reliability remains a top priority for St. John Energy. What are some of the things you have been doing to ensure that?
Yep, sure. Thanks, Shelley. Yeah, I would say reliability is always top of our mind here at St. John Energy. Certainly one the team focuses on every day. A few of the things that we would be doing to ensure that does stay where we want it. We would invest heavily in tree trimming every year. We have covered conductor on our lines, which, if trees happen to do come in contact with them, they don't cause an outage, or we can have a controlled outage to take care of that tree. Another few things we would do thermovision, which would look at all of the lines, the connections, to see if there's any heat problems, so we can address them before they do become an issue. And another thing we would check on, regularly inspect all of our assets. So like I said, we can fix problems before they become an issue. We do, unfortunately, even with all that, we would still have some outages happen. And we have a dedicated team that would be all over them when unfortunately they do happen. That would be our operators, our PLTs, our support staff. I mean, they're reacting as quickly and as efficiently as they can to get the power back up. So, and then one of the other things that Ryan mentioned earlier was the Grid Forward project. We would be investing a lot of money in direct buried replacement this year, with the $10 million in the federal funding. So it's great to get, some of our cables would be nearing 40 years of age. So it's great to be able to focus on that and get them out of the system.
That's great, Ryan. Thank you. This next one is for Glenn. During his presentation, Ryan mentioned the all-source RFP, looking for renewable and storage developers to outline projects that would supply St. John Energy. What kind of response have you seen, and when will we hear more about the projects?
We've seen a tremendous response, and we're very happy with the level of interest that we've seen. That said, the RFP is still open until the end of July. And after that, all the responses will be evaluated for how they contribute to affordability for our customers, and to ensure that they have a strong business case as well. And so we're excited to get moving on the projects once we've selected the developers when that time comes.
Thank you, Glenn. And I can take this next one. Ryan mentioned enhancements to customer service that have been underway, and can you tell us more about that? So we are so proud to be the first utility in North America to partner with Kraken for our customer service systems. It was built to integrate customer care, billing, and meter data. And this is more than just a technology implementation. It's a foundation for customer experience transformation and employee experience transformation that will allow us to deliver more innovative products and services, communicate with our customers more effectively, and help our customers understand and manage their energy use. Our customers can expect easier interactions, faster issue resolution, and more options for self-service in the future. We've migrated most of our residential customers to the new platform, and we're in the process of bringing our business customers in with a goal to have all of our customers in the new platform this fall. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Oh, this one's for you, Ryan Mitchell, and it's about our community giving. It's great to see all that St. John Energy does to help the community, like the Teen Resource Center and the donations to community organizations. How do you decide which organizations to support?
Okay, so a number of years ago, we would have made a decision that we were going to, develop very much a focus on supporting the fight to end generational poverty, here in our community. And how we look to do that is we leverage partnerships with the United Way, as well as the business community anti-poverty initiative, and engage with local not-for-profits that they are primarily affiliated with. So we leverage those arrangements with the United Way to ensure that those community investments are directed toward areas of real need, and they are able to have a real impact, just like the Teen Resource Center, which we were really pleased to be able to spotlight this year at our annual general meeting. We've been really impressed at the difference in the impact that they've been able to have for young people in our community, and I'd really like to encourage the St. John business community to consider building a closer working relationship with the Teen Resource Center. If we here at St. John Energy can create local youth employment opportunities, that can have an impact, well then so can you. So there's a little bit of a challenge for the local business community I'll throw out.
Thank you so much, Ryan. And that's the last question that we've received. And big thanks to our audience for all the questions that have come in so far. As I mentioned earlier, if you have questions, you can still reach out to us at communications@sjenergy.com, and we're happy to respond to those by email. And we want to thank everyone for participating in our St. John Energy Community AGM, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.